Hey everyone, welcome back to Sword of Mana. In the last episode, we received the Sword of Mana, but found out that it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. Well, at least in physical form. It was all in the heart, as far as Cibba said. In this episode, we're going to talk to Cibba and everyone else here to find out exactly what it is that we need to do in order to get out of here. So, let's go do that. Talk to Sela first, because, even though I love her character so much, granted she's going to have the least to say. Oh, don't worry, Sela. We'll definitely be coming back here. We don't really have anywhere else to go. Okay. She's so caring for no reason, and it's just... I love her for that. Her character is just so great. Let's talk to Lester. My voice just went out there. Well, maybe we can take you. Not. Lord Grands and everyone else, I would hope. Oh, so that's where you guys are going. So what's going to happen here is that Lester, Willie, and Bogart are going to head with Cibba to break the seal on Dime Tower. And in the meantime, we are going to head to the Ruined Path. Okay, sounds like a plan. What do you have to say, Bogart? Huh, a barrier, huh? Well, we didn't see anything about it when we were there before. Ruined Path essentially is the same as the Ruined Passage, which we were in episode 57, I believe it was. Which we got to in that episode, where we couldn't do anything with it except for grab the treasure chests around there, so... So anyway, we're gonna have to head over there, but apparently there's a barrier. Wow. That's one strong seal. Now where are we gonna get a Mayvol to help us break the seal? Well, I got nothing. Might as well head over there and find out. But anyway, Cibba, again, has updated his information, so... we're going to, allow him to open his mind to us again. So let's check what's next. Okay. So what are we doing? We're gonna head to Ruined Path. Okay. And we have to go north to the end of the Glass Desert. Alright, sounds like a plan, but before we go, let's continue with the choices here. Sword of Mana. I remember this from the, from Granz's, little, limerick from the beginning of the game. Left hand was the light of hope, and the right hand was the Sword of Mana. And that's all you have to say about the Sword of Mana. Well, there wasn't much else to say, really, about it. Because it was the goddess's sword, and it's the matter of the heart that counts. And since she was a goddess, her heart was the purest of everyone's. So what about Julius? Well, yeah, we could have guessed that by now, Cibba. I need more information in these choices. Here we go. Gemma, Bogart, and Elena. Okay. Let's check Gemma. The Gemma of the group, you mean. Oh! You mean the third Gemma? The one we've never heard of before? Until now? The one that we have no information on until this point. Wow. So this third Gemma was the son of the Empire's consul. Huh. Sounds like someone else we know. Huh. Whoa. What do you mean? He just disappeared without a trace? How did no one know where he was? It'd be kind of difficult to get out of an area with Vandal, and especially with all the people watching, without anyone knowing where he was. And no one's heard from him ever since. Well, I'll be going over my theory on this whole Gemma, third Gemma idea, as we make our way to, through the Ruined Path. So, we'll be doing that eventually. But, for now, we're just checking out Cibba's other choices here. Well, yeah, we know that now. It's like when the police rescue a baby that was missing, and like the mother is nowhere to be found because she was like killed or something like that. So then a bunch of people show up saying, "Oh yeah, I'm the father," because they want legal custody of the baby so that they can receive support, like welfare support, better welfare support than they would be receiving because of... I think that's how it works anyway. I mean, I wouldn't know because I don't have a child, so I'm not exactly sure how it all works, but anyway. Yeah, legends are legends. We know that now. I'm not going to believe a legend ever again in any video game that I play through after this. Nope. Not a one. Exactly, Cibba. There you go. See, that's why Dark Lord wasn't exactly as bad of a guy as we thought, because even through everything that he did, although it hurt a lot of people, he was forging his own path through life, and he did become responsible for his own actions because he atoned for it. Well, he didn't really atone for it, but he was responsible for his actions by dying at our hand. So he was more responsible than most people. He's more responsible than Duke at this point. But then again, Duke hasn't saved the world yet, so there's that. So now let's talk about Bogard, since we don't know much about him, but of course Cibba knows a lot more than Sella about him, even though Sella kind of has a crush from afar on him. Oh, really? I think Sella was the one that was talking about this before. Aww. That's so happy. And that's so sad. He became cold and distant after she passed on. I want to know what the name of this person is, though. This person that he loved so much. It seems like it'd be significant, or not significant. They would just say, oh, her name was Mary, or her name was Susan, or her name was something. I don't know. Let's talk about Elena. Now, if you're playing as Elena, you get a couple of other options here, and I'll be exploring those options after I am done with Duke. So, yeah, well, yeah, like I said, she couldn't have not had a real mother. What do you mean you want to leave the future to her? Well, okay. I will. Cibba's being very cryptic about this whole thing, but the thing is that if you look at the information he gives you and you kind of pick it apart, you can kind of figure out exactly what's going on in the whole backstory there. But I don't really want to, spoil it too much for everybody, because I'm going to be going through that anyway at a later point, so that I'll have something to talk about on the way through the ruined path. I could probably find something else to talk about, but I figure this will be a lot more important to the plot, considering we're going to be heading through to the end of the game at that point. I do want to head in here, though, before we switch over to Elena's file, because now there is someone in here that will help out. Jahari, here we go. What's up, Jahari? Well, spill it. I mean, what's a moondrop? Ah, okay. You know, you could be a little bit less scatterbrained about it. Okay. Where in the Glass Desert? Huh. Well, what he's talking about are moondrops. Now, Jahari is only here after you have beaten Malorus in the Kala Peaks, and he wants you to collect moondrops for him. So, the thing with moondrops is that Skulldrakes, the ones that are in the North Glass Desert that glow, and you can hit them with a lot of magic chains that way, they're the monsters that hold the moondrops. And they drop the moondrops fairly frequently, actually. So, and yeah, you can only get a moondrop at night. That's the only thing. So what you would do is you would just get on a screen at night, and then you would just grind up against the Skulldrakes, because you can just respawn them on the screen. The easiest way to do it is just to go one screen north of Ish at night, and just keep hitting them, essentially, and beating them, and then opening their treasure chests, getting the moondrops from them. Now, this side quest specifically for myself, he says they'll give you 1,000 lucre for it, but he'll also give you a piece of Dudbear's gold for it. So this side quest in particular for me is probably the easiest way to grind up Dudbear's gold. So, because you could just kill the Skull Drakes. The thing with the Skull Drakes is that, like I said, it's easy to level up your magic with them. So, say I wanted to level up Duke's magic for some god-forbidden reason. I could go and do that on the Skull Drakes, especially if it's like, well, actually not really if it's Shade Elemental, because that doesn't affect them at all, so it wouldn't kill them. But if I wanted to go grind up my magic on them, that way I can kill them, get my magic levels higher, and still get moon drops, which will allow me to get Dudbear's gold, which will in turn allow me to get more spirits from Assad's spirit shop. But like I said, not going to be doing that with Duke because Duke doesn't need that sort of stuff. But that is an option to you if you want to get a lot of Dudbear's gold fairly quickly. It happens more frequently than the boo-boo worms from the basilisks because the Skull Drakes drop it very, very often, and the boo-boo worms, even if they drop, even if a basilisk drops a boo-boo worm, it doesn't necessarily mean that the boo-boo worm is going to be longer than 20 inches, which is what you need in order for it to be the guy to give you Dudbear's gold. So now what I'm going to do on screen again is I'm going to switch back to Elena, and we're going to do a little bit more talking with Cibba. I'm fairly certain I saved the ish in here, so hopefully I did, so I don't have to do any backtracking on the screen or anything like that. Well, we'll see. Switch over to Elena, and there you go. Alright, we're in the inn. So, let's head back to Sella's house and talk to Cibba about a couple of other things that you can only get if you're playing as Elena. Alright, let's see what you got. Well, you've got the same things here, and back here, we can talk about Duke over here. These other two on the bottom are very important, but we'll talk about those after we talk about Duke. So, yeah, he has, hasn't he? He's leveling up like crazy now. Yeah, it must have come as a pretty big shock to him. I mean, if I was... The thing with that is that Duke is kind of he's kind of the most matured character in the whole cast. His character development is very, very complete by the end of the story, because while he is still a teenager and while he is still, you know, mortal by the end of the story, which is pretty much where we are right now, and he still has a lot to learn, he's learned so much over the course of the story that he's a much better person than he was in the beginning of the game. Whereas in the beginning of the game he was out for revenge. Now he's out to save the world, not for the fame and the fortune, but because it's the only thing to do. And he's convicted to that purpose now. He's going to fulfill it if it kills him. So now Elena, on the other hand, she's had that whole conviction the whole game. Possibly because of her upbringing as a Mana Clan member, possibly because of what happened to her. But there's a truck outside my window that was just plowing our street. Good. It was hard getting on my driveway this morning when I was going to work. It better be shoveled better when I get out there tomorrow morning, sweeper truck. But yeah, Elena had that conviction the whole game, so she really carved a path of her own without anyone needing to tell her, hey, this is what you need to do in order to continue here. So now that we've done the Duke one, and that one was a little bit less important than the other ones, let's talk about the real mother. Again, Cibba, we know this. You can stop being cryptic about it and just kind of come out with it. That would be nice, wouldn't you? Now, by Bogard and the mother who raised you, he means Bogard and Elise. Although, when you think about it, he could be meaning her real mother. He could be meaning Elise. I don't know. I would assume he means Elise because she was the one who raised Elena. So, yeah, everyone's riding on this. Everyone's right. No, I'm not going to say it. That would lead to some very offensive sex jokes. Which is why you have to pull through without any mistakes here, Elena. No pressure or anything, though. Thanks a bunch, Cibba, for laying that all on her shoulders. Make her even more uptight than she already is. let's talk about promises. So here we go again with 3 gemmas. We haven't heard much about the 3rd one, but anyway. Yeah, he did. But then the gemma used the rusty sword and beat him with it. Essentially defeated him with it. Because Gran summoned the Mayvols, right? Whoa! When did this happen? You just conveniently forgot this detail until now? And what? And there's a love triangle going on. What is this? This is crazy. So, Gran's summoning the Mayvols didn't give the gemmas the upper hand. A young girl cut into the battle in the middle of the battle. This girl just happened to be at the middle of both Bogard and Vandal's romance. So there was a big love triangle going on, which caused them to hate each other. And Vandal let his guard down so that the Gemma Knights could kill him. Wow, that's a lot more petty than the legends. Then again, the legends do play it up a whole lot. But that was the real situation, apparently. Wow. That's something else, I'll tell you what. Yeah. That's the only thing that's missing in this puzzle, is what kind of vow. Oh, come on! Ah, boy. Sometimes this game and its secrets. Well, don't worry. We'll explore all of the secrets that this game has to offer when we get to the Ruined Path. But anyway, that'll be it for this episode of Sword of Mana. Another information episode. I know it was probably boring, but after all the action we've been through recently, I could use a little bit of time winding down, so... Next time, we will head north through the North Glass Desert towards the Ruined Passage so that we can see if we can find a way to get through the seal. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time! Take care.